Hello and welcome to Global Morning. It's good to have you here on the program, Global Morning Weekend, and we have lots of activities lined up for you this morning. And we'll be telling you ways to have your day started, ways to get the Saturday vibe going, and lots of conversation on ground for us to discuss with you. My name is Anita Patrick. To run the program with me today, I have my co-pilots in the building, in person of Mukhtar, always looking handsome. I tell you, Mukhtar, it's good to have you.
It's a great morning, Anita. Of course, you're always looking beautiful. Fashion slayer, I could say. It's a beautiful Saturday morning in our nation's capital, and it's a great morning. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. It's good to have you as well, Mukhtar. You know, it's the raining season, and the weather has been beautiful. Even though there are a lot of times here and there for people to get to workplaces and all that, but the atmosphere, the weather is very relaxing.
Honestly, if not for work, I'll be in my home right now, lounging or maybe sleeping, because the weather is giving, actually. It's a beautiful weather, and it's a weather to have fun, to relax, especially on a weekend like this.
It's really like a weekend, and weekends, you know what weekends are for? Relaxation and rest of your mind from a whole lot of the weekly activities. But do we really have weekends that much with the hustling and bustling right now?
Honestly, the country has become in a way that there's no weekend. You come out on a Sunday morning, you see cars on the way. Unlike previous years where you'd see like a deserted road, every day is a busy day. So weekends are fast becoming like weekdays.
That's it. The weekends have been fast becoming weekdays. But what can we do? We need to find a way to find time to rest and still make the money.
Of course, money has to be made.
Still make the money and
have
something running for you at the family level and at the business points and every part of life as you want it.
Of course, you have to strike a balance in everything you do.
We should always strike a balance. But let's quickly tell you our rundown for today. We have taste and texture, we have newspaper review, we have our conversation talking about relaxation, one way forward that's one of the discussion we'll be looking at.
Yes.
How to guide us or Nigerians or everyone across the world on how to take out time in your busy schedule and relax.
You know, they say all work without play
makes Jack a dull one. No, it's going to be Mukhtar right now, dull one.
So, of course, I find time to relax.
Okay, Mukhtar, we'll find out about the relaxation when the time comes. We'll talk more about how you relax when you're off your busy schedule. We'll see how we'll talk about all of those things. But let's quickly take this breather, and when we come back, we'll take a newspaper review, and then we'll give you the basic things which we have lined up for you. Please stay with us. Welcome back to Global Morning. It's newspaper review, and we're here, like we told you, we'll be giving you the basic headlines, what's making the rounds in the newspapers today. Let's quickly give you the rundown. We have The Nation, we have Vanguard, we have The Punch, we have New Telegraph, and the likes lined up for you. But let's quickly start with The Nation. Mukhtar, we have very shouty headlines here telling you that there's probably trouble in paradise.
There is in politics, starting with the ADC, where it says more trouble in the ADC as faction confronts David Mark and others.
And then you have the writer there that says Adeleke rules out defection to coalition party. That's on page 5 on The Nation, above the marks of The Nation newspaper there. That's becoming very interesting because 2027 is just around the corner.
The permutations are there. Adeleke has said he's not moving to the ADC, he's not moving to the APC, sticking to his party. So they're trying to woo him, but at the end of the day, we don't know if he would stick to his current party or he will join the train of defection, like we've seen in many states, especially in the south and some southwestern states where they've joined the ruling APC. So everybody basically is looking towards securing his interest in 2027.
And a lot of questions have been asked, can the ADC stand the test of time with the ruling party at the moment?
Question.
Because from what we're seeing, a lot of people the conversation has been going that we just have a lot of politicians who feel they're not satisfied, disgruntled. So let's see how this narrative goes. The more we have this trouble, obviously you can't rule out troubles with political parties. It's always part of what makes the party. Well, if
you look at it, it seems like the troubles are more with the opposition than with the ruling party, even though, of course, the ruling party has its own troubles. But people have been saying the ADC have factions. How would a house that is divided among itself be able to be a formidable opposition against a ruling party? So I think we'll see how that pans out eventually.
We'll see how it pans out. Let's quickly move away from that. Still talking politics. On the major headline there, leading on the front page, says 2027 PDP shops for viable candidates against Tinubu.
And the rider here is Jonathan Saraki Obi Makinde. Under radar, party's ticket open to all, says Olawekbo Hashim.
See, that's telling you that 2027 is getting tough ahead of it. And let's move away from politics, where we know that politics is always the drama playing out in the scene, because we have a democratic stem. So everyone who wants to stick out their neck and see what interest brings to their table. Let's quickly look at the health sector. We have their nurses, midwives, continue strikers meeting with Health Minister deadlock.
Well, this is actually a sad one, because we saw some headlines yesterday saying the strike has been resolved, but they've come out now to say no, we're still under the strike because we've not hit a headway in negotiations. But I think that's something that has been taking too long. We know how critical the health sector is to Nigeria's overall growth. So why would they allow people as critical as nurses, as doctors, to even go on strike in the first place? So I think the concerned stakeholders have to step in to mitigate this crisis, nip it in the bud, basically.
One of the conversations actually playing right now is that the health sector is suffering a lot right now following this strike, and the midwives, you can imagine patients in the hospitals, how they're dealing with all of this, because where the nurses need to stand in to assist is becoming a struggle, because these nurses are not on ground. And if you look at what the nurses are asking for, it's not too much.
It's not too much to ask, my sister, because if you look at global best practices across the world, Nigerian nurses and health workers are certainly underappreciated compared to their counterparts across the world. So they're not asking for too much.
Okay, we hope that this strike will actually give room for the authorities to look at their issues and fix the narrative and ensure that the health sector will go about booming as it's supposed to be.
Certainly.
All right, let's move away from that. We also have how we killed a nurse child in Abuja school after collecting 3 million ransom. That's the suspect speaking on page 3 there.
This is honestly becoming a case too many, and it's sad. You'd see kidnappers collect ransoms and still kill the victims. Why such wickedness? Because if you're collecting ransom, it's expected that you free this person. Why would you kill them after collecting ransom?
Sometimes I tell people that for me, these ones don't have a conscience anymore. The conscience is
Certainly.
dead. Because if you have a conscience, someone has paid you for what you requested for or what you asked for.
There's no reason take that life. Honestly, it's a lack of conscience. And the security agencies need to up their games in tackling this menace that has bedeviled our country.
All right, we pray, we hope that the family would... it's so sad, I don't even know what to say about it right now, but it's really, really sad. But let's move away from that and see another story. It's the rainy season, like we mentioned earlier, 2025 flood, 165 dead, 82 missing, 119,791 affected in 19 states. That's NEMA's report.
This is another recurring decimal. Every year we hear
Every year.
perennial flooding,
Yeah.
perennial floodings, people not moving from floodplains, the government saying they are doing enough, people saying the government is not doing enough.
Apart from people moving from flood areas, we also know that the challenge is drainage system,
Yes.
how individuals manage these things as well. When it's not the raining season, people dump refuses in the drainage pathway, and it's always blocking. If you look around, even in the FCT here, where we still see some of those challenges where some drainages are blocked.
Yes. In the FCT in particularly, there was a particular estate that has had issues of flooding. And like you said, I've seen one or two incidents of that particular estate. When those flood water pass, what you see is refuge. You see dumps and everything inside that water, which means people are also complacent by dumping refuge where they should not dump them. So we also as citizens, as much as
Have
we're
a role to
calling on
play as
governments,
well.
we have a very critical role to play in ensuring that this flood incidents do not reoccur every single year.
All right, quick one. Let's see below the president standing in the picture there. We have where it says xenophobia. Nigerians save in Ghana. Mahama assures Tinubu. You know, there's been a trending issue in South Africa where we have some Ghanaians come out to say that Nigerians in Ghana.
Honestly, I don't know the problem with what that they have with Nigeria. You see South Africa saying Nigerians are taking their jobs, Ghanaians making the same crime, but we're all Africans and we're supposed to be our brother's keeper.
Exactly.
As Africans.
And we're smart. Nigerians are smart. Don't forget that.
Wherever it is we go, we try.
We
Whether
always
Africa,
try.
whether abroad, we always strive. So I think we should see ourselves as Africans first and as our brother's keepers. So there's no reason why you should hate your fellow African.
But the thing is, the assurance is that Nigerians are safe. So let's keep that. That's knowing
Let's take that.
the Nigerians are actually safe where they are and doing what they know how to do best.
True.
All right, let's move away from the nation and see what the Telegraph is saying. New Telegraph, Saturday Telegraph, there we have it. It says a major headline ruling there boldly written. It says tariffs, how Trump's hardline tactics stopped Tinubu from negotiating. Then the writer there says, as U.S. President announces new tariff targeting Nigeria, others we also have 18,000 manufactured products from Africa to be affected. They also have Tinubu should take advantage of 7-day window to negotiate. That's OPS speaking. This talking about the tariffs here.
Yes.
Sarah.
Trump has been slamming tariff on every nation that he can lay his hands on, and Nigeria has not been an exception. But like some people would say in business or in state politics, you should always put your nation first. So I might not really blame Trump, even though multilateralism requires you being a people's player, playing the politics, taking everybody along. But of course, you have to put your country first. So I think Nigeria, rather than getting overly angry, what we should do is also find a way to prioritize ourselves and look inward rather than relying on
Outside.
those outside connections that have failed us as a nation over time.
Exactly. Let's look above the mask there. We have my dad's Adele's son speaking there. It says my dad's role in June 12 struggle led to his 13 months incarceration. Politics still talking there. He's talking about how June 12 played out for him. Let's also move away from that and see where it says Nigeria needs parties that can subordinate presidents, governors to control. Lukman. All of this is also looking ahead of 2027.
Yes,
we
the
know
calculations.
That's a lot of calculations, a lot of marking here and there, putting strategies to play to see how the narrative can change.
Everybody, like I said earlier, interest is all they're looking at, most of them. But what should supersede all this is national interest.
Exactly.
And as much as they're playing their politics, which is not bad, but do not forget that Nigeria should come
there are
first.
people that are looking up to you, whom you had promised.
Exactly, you promised to deliver the dividends of democracy.
All right, let's see this one where we have the next one there. They will have Edu speaking it on his own there. Mukhtar, you can see that.
Yes, he says FG to leverage on private sector for economic growth. And that's the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, speaking there.
Okay, he's saying that there's time for us to leverage on the private sector for economic growth.
Of course.
The private sector has what is bringing to the table as well.
Across the world, government doesn't do everything. Even though government has a critical role to play, which cannot be put aside, but it has to be a partnership alongside private sector.
Exactly.
You see, a private sector has over time been an employer of labor, so government has to come with them, giving them the right framework, the right policies, and the right environment to strive to be able to make the economy stronger and much, much better.
Okay, we hope that those time they'll leverage on that and add more economic growth before the nation. So a lot of people can also embrace that. There we see autonomy, governors changing councils, LG sources. Then we have right there that says allocations have increased, but we don't get funds directly. Governors complying with Supreme Court judgments, councils getting their money. DG, Nigerian Governors Forum.
So now who should we believe? They are saying they're not getting, the DG of Nigerian Governors Forum
saying they're getting.
So that's another tough one there.
If you want to pick up, that's on page 4. You can pick it up to get more details on what played out in that particular conversation, so you have better understanding of what.
I certainly would want to know what the details of this.
You need to go back to it and look at it and read up on that. But let's move away from that. We also have, still talking about the nurses, we have controversy as minister. Nurses differ on suspension of warning strike.
Just like we said, the minister has said the strike is off. They've come out to say it is not off.
Because they've not met with their demand.
They've not given them what they want.
Okay. There you have also the last one there talking below there. I don't identify with Nigeria anymore. Kemi.
Kemi's honestly, I
know we had this conversation some time ago.
Yes, we did.
So what's your thoughts on this basically?
For me, I don't see any gain in she selling her country of origin short, regardless of the fact that you might be a British national at the moment, but you are tracing your origin to Nigeria.
Exactly.
Your name even says it.
Exactly.
So there's no need talking down your country, because someone said if you sell out your brothers, those people who you sell them out to will not even trust you. So if you're thinking to get acclamations from the Brits, but talking down your nation, what does that say about you as a person? I think she actually has to do better.
Okay. It's time for her to do better. We hope she listens to Mukhtar.
Hopefully she does.
Okay, we have 2027. President pushes back world's class of 1999 governors to promote regime. Then we have right there that says members pledge to campaign at grassroots. Sharif leads team. Aliyu appointed spokesman. That's on page 3.
No, last week they had a meeting with the governors of class of 99, and they said they've channeled discussions on how to make Nigeria better. So, like someone said, it's not a bad thing that you'd have meetings with them because they started together.
Exactly.
And maybe there are things they can see from the outsider perspective that he has not seen, the president that is. So they might be able to give him counsel that would help him
change the narrative.
Change the narrative and make Nigerians' life better.
Okay. Okay. We'll be here and we'll see how this narrative can change. Let's quickly move to The Guardian. They have The Guardian speaking its own. It's just a whole different, a bit of away from what we've seen so far.
Yes.
With all of the paper. We have The Guardian there, boldly written, leading its headline there. It says, Rice Revolution. Lean harvest diminishes robust policies.
Rice. Same old rice.
Same old.
The farmers have been crying that the government has been importing, and that has dealt their business short. And people are saying, okay, you as farmers, you've harvested in Nigeria, but the prices are exorbitant.
That's at some point Nigerians were not even looking at eating the local rice and eating what they actually produce. Yes. But at some point the last administration actually pushed for that, and it became something that was a household thing. Eat what you produce, and it was really good. Yes. But the cost, just like you mentioned, is actually out of the
because what's the essence of it being, even though of course they've explained, but for me, regardless of the explanations they've offered, I feel we should have a bit of relief if it is locally sourced, materials are locally sourced, even though fertilizers might be imported, and we still have local fertilizers. So if you're producing locally, the price should not be almost the same with the imported rice, if the quality might not even match those ones imported.
Okay, let's leave that for Nigerians to decide. It's time for us to look at that story, and it's on page 8 to 9 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's see what other stories are making the headline. We have FG vows sweeping reforms to end boats mishaps as committee submits reports. That's on page 2. It's the raining season. Obviously, we know that
we've seen incidences everywhere. In Niger State, in Kwara State, in the South region, boats capsizing, and
it's not helping at all.
Like with the flooding we mentioned earlier, these are things that happen every year, and no end seems to be in sight. But I hope with this committee that has filed in this report,
the narrative will change, and we'll see better days ahead of that for us. Let's also look at other stories making the headline there.
This one says, use social media to build, not break Nigeria, Tinubu tells the youths.
But that's actually very true, because the truth is youth are very engaged with their social media. We have, and the thing about social media is it has its advantage, has its disadvantage.
Certainly.
Some people tend to use it to make profit and add value to the economy.
Others
Others
abuse
abuse it. And that's life. You cannot have it all. You always have the pros and the cons around all of this playing out.
Certainly.
But I hope that I was watching a report somewhere, and I saw where they're told to look at how we can the nation or the authorities can boost youths who are creative with the AI coming to play, seeing the creativity they have ahead of them to put in, especially with the net fund for students,
Universities.
so universities and all that, for colleges, that they should push those funds to also boost people who are creative with the social media, with creative minds, boost like the robotics and all that.
True. The social media has become an industry on its own, and of course, the president telling the young people to seize the opportunity and be good ambassadors of Nigeria is a good call, because we have, like you said, so many talented young people using the internet space, but they should use it for good and not for the other way around.
All right,
That's what I think.
Nigerian youths, please listen to your president when it comes to such talks. All right, let's move away from that. We have where it says Mba tax quantity surveys on implementable frameworks. That's on page 34. And you know, when it talks about framework, this has to do. We've seen lots of crashes here and there.
Building collapses.
Building collapses and people being trapped in buildings. The bad side of it, how it has affected a whole lot. I think it's high time for contractors to look at the quantity and the quality of, not just quantity now, it's not about the quality of what you're giving people, because you're also part of those rules, things as, God forbid, someday you would run into that
Honestly,
building.
where's your conscience?
Where's your conscience?
Because that building, like you said, you might think you might not be a victim.
You could
but
be.
somebody who, even if you're not a direct victim, people you love might just be victims
It's just
of
like
your own
train stone in a
problems.
glass house.
Exactly. It just might come back to you.
Please, let's see how that can work. Also, we also have just below there, we have above the masthead quickly, we see where it talks about super falcons, super reward without super future.
That's a
You know, since the Super Falcons came back and won the 10th time title of the champions
The
of
WAFCON.
female football, WAFCON, in Africa, a lot of people have criticized the reward. But for me, I feel this is not my opinion, but let's talk about it as my opinion.
Yes.
These ladies have won 10 times.
A feat that has not been achieved never before.
Never.
Never before.
So it's not, if it was a one-time thing that they probably won it just once or twice and those rewards came in, you could question the narrative. I know a lot of people are saying this money could have been channeled to the sectors, but let's also look at what's the future ahead of the Super Falcons aside this at the world stage, no longer the African stage.
Yes, because they dominated the African stage, but when they go up to the world stage, the story is not always Uhuru-like. But talking about the reward itself, I don't fault the reward. The only thing I might fault is neglecting other sectors. Like people said, yes, we have other sectors, not only sports sectors, but we should find a balance. You can't have your pensioners crying and saying they've not been remunerated after years of service. So find a balance. Reward hard work as it should be.
yes.
Okay, Mutara, let's move away from the Guardian and see other papers and what is saying for us here in. Let's look at Nigerian News Direct. It has a lot of stories going around, still talking a bit of politics here and there, and also security matters. Let's quickly take Nigerian
News
Direct. It has on the top side there at the left hand there, it says police rescue lost students kidnapped in Benue.
At least a bit of a good news.
A bit of the good news. And also have where it says trucks to stop loading above 45,000 liters by October 1st. That's Ipman saying there.
I like what's happening with the Dangote refinery and Ipman. We're having a bit of competition, which means that sector would maybe see some changes from the previous narratives that have existed there.
Okay, so let's move away and see other stories. Just the major headline that's big there says, use digital platforms to advance Nigerians' progress. Tinubu tells new media influencers. That's just like what we just talked about
From the previous
newspaper. Says disinformation, cyber threats, and national threats. Social media are no longer a neutral space. No longer Ononuga saying that, speaking tough. But that's really true. We need to see how we can add value to it,
Yes.
and not just keep destroying the nation. But let's see how that can
We can use to promote
we can
our
use to
nation.
promote our nation.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's a headline below here that says, I have no intention of joining the
ADC, and that's Governor Adeleke.
We talked about that earlier
Yes, we did.
with the first paper where he said he's not ready, and then we know politics also playing. Still the same story making the rounds. Now there we have confusion as nurses deny suspension of strike. Okay, well, we're still here. We're still here, and we hope that this narrative will change, and the health sector will have some boost
be
there.
revamped,
I'm
honestly.
telling you, we
It
need that to be fixed. It's not really a good
Because
one.
if you have a population that's not healthy, that's not functional, how do you expect national development?
Exactly.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. So let's quickly move to the Punch. The Punch has still talking about the gifts for the Super Falcons. Yeah, we have there speaks boldly there. Still same headline saying.
Says,
go ahead.
Falcons 150 million gifts sparks outrage among retired soldiers, cops
Battling poverty.
Exactly. So it's just like you said, there should be a balance. If you're giving these gifts, no doubt that the girls did very well. You've given them the thumbs up, you've given them the pat on the back to say well done and have this reward. But let's see how
other sectors
can also
be rewarded.
Because
Because it's actually painful for somebody, like they said, cops, soldiers, they will see they put 35 years in service, and some say they got 3 million, 4 million. It's actually deplorable.
Okay.
It is.
We hope the balance comes in quickly. Let's quickly move with and see what we have. The Nigerians must go. That's talking about the xenophobia thing. We have how Ghana's business rules, landlords' action trigger xenophobic fear. Igbo community suspends Yam Festival, traders allege restriction. President Mahama promises safety of Nigerians and property there. So that's the story that the Ghanaians, I think the narrative needs to change. They want to have their own.
We want take the country back. But nobody is taking it from you.
Exactly, who's taking it from
Ghana
you?
is big enough to accommodate other
Exactly.
people.
Well,
Same way Nigeria as a country has accommodated literally every
black race.
Yes.
Exactly. So we have a child in the picture there. It says, seeing kids return from school after my son died in Solway. Sockaway breaks me. Transporter, whoa. This is the holidays. We need to really watch out for our children.
Honestly,
we need to watch out for our children.
Deaths like this are something that should be avoidable.
Could be avoidable because children will always be children who want to play around, but you need to also watch out, put things in order and ensure that this holiday is what's a good time. We just hope the mother finds to being consoled there, because it's not a good thing to lose a child. So we have scary tales of Nigerian mothers suiting babies with alcoholic drinks. What's going on? Wow. I don't get it. That's for a child to sleep. That's an abuse.
That is certainly an abuse. And we've been talking about how our population, some of the young people are struggling with drug abuse. And this is happening.
This is not
a good one.
It's not a good one at all.
It's not a good one.
Okay, let's go to a bit of what's happening with the entertainment side, where we have the Nigerian musician there.
Yes.
Two-Face remarries. Two-Face remarriage raises legal questions on divorce
and bigamy.
You know, when I saw this conversation, when I saw this marriage thing, I was asking myself, is the divorce finally over?
That's the question now. Some people are saying, has he committed a crime? Because we all know the customary law now. Some of the laws in Nigeria would say you cannot take a second wife while your first wife is there. So we don't know. Maybe he has done the right thing.
Okay. Let's leave it at that. Let's move away from that and look at what is the Daily Trust is saying for its weekend paper. We have the Trust paper there speaking on, still talking politics, 2027. We have 2027, how Kaduna Forum missed target.
What target is that?
We'll find out because the way I am seeing this picture has a whole lot of meanings.
It has a lot of meanings. There's deliberation, there's a lot of thinking.
A lot of thinking. You have the thinking cap coming. We have the different caps.
Yes.
Demonstrating and telling a lot of story. Please find out more on that on page 4 on how they want to fix it. How Kaduna for a missed target.
What target did they miss? If
Exactly.
you want to know that target, pick up the Daily
Pick up the
Trust
Daily Trust
and go to page 4
and look
for
at it at
details.
page 4. So same story playing out still says nurses, FG disagree over strike suspension. 2027 voter registration to commence August 18. That's very important. Ahead of 2027,
Certainly.
we need to go out and get registered. And because there'll be cleanup of the voter register at some point to see
The ones who
who are no longer alive and all that. So need to go register if you don't have, and get yourself
Because
ready for
we know
2027.
Nigerians will complain about leadership and all. So this is one of the ways
Yes.
you can exercise your franchise.
I'm telling
If you think
you.
things are not going right, you can pick the person who you feel will turn the tides for you and for Nigeria.
Nigeria as a country.
Okay, Mukhtar, that's the much we can take right now on
On
the
these
papers
papers.
because of other itinerary we have or lined up for you on the program. Let's quickly take our next itinerary, what we have for you, which is taste and texture. Enjoy this as Sadia brings us that beautiful segment.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Global Morning is your top morning show here on Global Television.
We bring you fresh news updates daily while delving into a variety of current affairs and topics.
And at the same time, keeping you well informed about important events, both national and internationals.
Global Morning serves as a valuable source of information, helping viewers like you start your day well informed.
Stay connected from Monday through Sunday to a wide range of latest news making rounds on Global Morning.
We're on the road to protest.
And the president meets all of our demands.
This is Global Morning.
Welcome back. It's good to have you here on Global Morning. We're still here, and it's time to take our topic for today. We'll bring you Sadia. If we can still meet up with the segments, but let's quickly take you to our discussion because we have a lot to tell you about relaxation and vacation. Mukhtar, it's the season for the holidays. Children are off school activities, and parents have been planning with all of the promises of if you do well in your academics,
We're going to go to
know?
that place you've been craving to go to.
we're going to go to that place for you to relax your head and have a good time. So by the time you're back to school, when they tell you how was your vacation, you'll be able to write an essay and tell the school how you spent your holidays. And that's part of what we'll be discussing today, and travels. But let's quickly give you a guide to all of this. And let's look at, how do you prepare for vacations? Do people really take vacations aside parents promising their children?
Well, Nigerians, typically, we don't really think of vacations. We just work, pay your bills and stuff. But like we said earlier, all work without play makes whoever a dull boy. So you need to find time to rest because breakdown is real. Mental exhaustion is real. Physical exhaustion is real.
It's actually very
You have to
real.
find the balance.
You know, that's the balance. Talking about balance, let's look at the different ways people relax, find time to relax, to have a good time at home, spend quality time. What's your way of relaxation, Mukhtar? Let's start with you first before we talk about the parents, children, promising and all that. Let's start with from the in-house.
In as much as people talk about vacations, travels and all, I think what I would describe my own relaxation is a staycation. Meaning I stay at home with all the people I love and the things I want. And for me, that's a good one.
So let's say you're doing a staycation at home. What's your own plan of part of staycation? Is it just sit at home, look at the screen, have screen time, or have the time for music, or is it yoga? How do you relax?
Well, I think it's a bit of all of them. First of all, if there's electricity, then that's one. And like you said, food. Food.
My foodie in the house.
You have to underline it. Food. Plenty food.
Okay.
That's part of the relaxation process. And like you said, yoga, exercises, video game. I'm a person who loves to play video games. So if I have those combinations, I don't have to go anywhere.
You're perfect.
You could leave me there the entire summer.
Oh
and
my
I don't
God.
notice you're even gone.
Oh, can you imagine?
I won't notice you're gone.
Okay, so that's Mukhtar's way of relaxation and how he likes to stay at home, relax, find time to rest his head. But relaxation, I tell people, when you walk, you need to also create time to relax, create time to rest the brain. The brain works around the clock. Some people even think or walk while sleeping. Their
brains are also...
I think for me, that plays out for me as well, because sometimes I'm sleeping and subconsciously I just feel I'm walking through a whole lot of things running in my head. You understand? Because you're planning what next to do. But it's time for us to look at time. It's time to rest. It's time to take your brain, give your brain a little bit of break and look at the ways. Just like Mukhtar says, his own has to do with staycation, have his music playing for him, have his video game playing for him. But for some people that like adventure, that like to travel, how do you prepare for this, your vacation, or you're going somewhere away from home to have people like adventure. They want to try the beautiful beach sites.
Let me put you on the spot. You put me on the spot. So it's time to reverse the clock. How do you like your relaxation or vacation?
Okay, for me, I'm more of an adventurous person. I love to take adventure, try new things, because when you try new things, it gives an excitement or a satisfaction that this is new and it's exciting. I love to go to new places, see new things. Like I mentioned, the beach side is something I love to see how people walk on the beach, have to play with the water, have the feel of that cool breeze, nature. I love nature. I love to have my head calm. You know, when you see the sight of the water, how it flows on the beach side, for me is relaxing. It gives me that sensation that you're just in a peaceful atmosphere, and a peaceful atmosphere where it's relaxing. I love to swim. I love to swim, have the ladies hang out, you know, we just have a conversation, talk about growth, talk about business ideas, talk about family. I'm a family person. So I love this kind of atmosphere where we have even children dance around, you know, have the poolside where we discuss, talk about issues. At that time, everybody's relaxed. Everyone is relaxed to share thoughts and tell you what is really bugging them, or that has not been there. They've not been able to say it out. At that point, when the mindset is calm,
you're able to voice
out. You feel this person is closer to me, and you can talk. And it's also good for loved ones, where you have couples bonding time. You can bond with your partner. You can have quality time, talk about issues that probably would have been pending, and you didn't want to, you know, throw it in the course
maybe
of
because of tension or
exactly.
But
in a relaxed atmosphere where you're embracing each other, you're talking about all of those issues, and it could be resolved, and better understanding will be created. So for me, that's what I loved. That's how I love to spend my own time. Yes, I love sometimes after moving. I love yoga.
You have to keep fit.
You know, keep fit as well. It's a very good way to relax. It's more of, you know, your mind is relaxed, your body is relaxed. If I can use spirit, soul,
all of them
is relaxed. You talk, you just examine yourself and just tell yourself, peace. This is all about peace at the moment. So all of those things help the mind, and don't forget that nature also plays its own way in adding to your own relaxation and giving you that thought that I'm in my own space. Just like you enjoyed the staycation, which is indoors. So that staycation for some people would just be locked up in their room, and they could have quiet time, go through books. Go through books. Some people just want to relax, stay away from the world, and just have music, you know, play. Music is food to the soul. You know, depends on your genre of music.
When you talk about book, it just reminds me sometimes when I'm in my staycation and I read those books, I imagine myself as part of those characters and those places. So one thing about books is it allows you to travel like around the world just from the comfort of your home and all. So that's one thing I also enjoy.
So we've seen ways, there are different ways one can actually embrace the beauty of relaxation and vacation. So we can look at staycation, we can look at the adventurous type, just like we have our both sides to it. We can look at trying new things. For children are excited. So we started the conversation where we said parents have promised their children is a holiday, and a lot of parents had planned. Some might have the interest but they look at the cost effects of moving the children around, because this is the summer season and it's good for children to go see their grandparents and spend quality time.
Exactly. When we talk about staycation or vacations, it doesn't mean you traveling outside the country or spending so much. It could be like you just said, going to
the grannies,
the village, having a different.
I know the grannies have it spoiling children.
They do.
So it's a good way for the children to relax and spend the holidays, have a good time, and go hear stories from the old, from the grandparents. We'll tell them the moonlight. And those days always have the tales by moonlight. And then we'll talk about tales. The grandparents would always tell us about stories that we didn't like. Make you feel relaxed. It takes the children's mind off from the academics, and they just want to have time. That's why it's called the time to relax, the time to stay away. But let's look at some basic tips that one needs to get together before you go for your vacation, or you're going for a place where you need to rest your head and spend quality time. If you're going to hit that road or take that flight or travel to the likes of, probably you're going to Zanzibar, or you're going to the Mauritius. That's if you're leaving the shores of Nigeria. But don't forget that Nigeria also has beautiful places you can visit.
Of course.
And that most of us don't even know. They're very quiet places that you can visit, and you have all of those feel, even across our states.
Yes.
So try and look at all of those things and see how you can explore. But let's look at tips to look out for. You need to look at how you can pack your things. What are necessary things to pack when you're preparing your mind? So like if you're going with the children, you need to look at how you can pack your things in little tiny bits. Let's say, for instance, you're taking that flight, or you're traveling by air, or you're waiting the road.
Yes.
Don't forget there are 10 points checklist. One should be looking out for your travel size toiletries. Something to put in a leak-proof bag. You need to look at that so that it's well packed.
Yes.
It doesn't have water soiling it, or put it well sealed in your bag, in your suitcase.
To come in handy.
Yes,
at the cost of your travel.
Exactly. So don't forget your valid identity card, which we need to have handy for identification. It shows that you're a tourist, you're going to visit, you're going to see, check out new things, and also sunscreen. The weather will be different. So if you have a skin that is very sensitive, or your children reacting to anything,
will help them.
It will help them, and you can stay fresh, stay safe, and look beautiful as always, and look handsome as always, and enjoy. I'm telling you, exactly. So you need to look the part and look very great. So let's quickly tell you that you can, just like Mutar mentioned, if there's power, he won't leave his room.
If there is,
he won't leave the comfort. But let's not forget that there's a backup plan. Have your power bank.
Yes, so you can stay in charge.
And your adapters, so your loved ones can keep in touch to know you're safe. They don't need to worry their head when they can't reach you. But so 24/7, you're there, even if you're not in the environment where you need to power your phone through the power supply. But just have a power bank.
Other things people need to know is double check your accommodation.
Exactly.
Because some people could go
reservations.
They've had reservations and they're stranded.
Oh.
So that is very important.
So while you're doing all your checklists and check, don't forget, just like Musa said, your reservations, check and check. I know one experience sometime where someone got there and was like, the reservation was
there's no reservation.
There's no longer reservation. And that's all of those things are things that shouldn't even play out. But sometimes you cannot rule out all of those things. It happens. Yes. And one needs to. That's the reason you need to double check and check again. And then for some of us who don't like, when you're traveling in the air, you don't like that noise. So you need to get headphones that will cancel the noise. Get the headphones. It makes you feel very relaxed. You won't even feel the noise.
Certainly.
You know, when the flight is about to take off.
The turbulence.
Really, you know, so you need something to put on your head and just, like we mentioned, a good book or two.
That would be a real pastime, a good pastime for
you. A good pastime for you to relax and, you know, travel, have a good time. Even while you're on your way, you could go through the books you're having, and it gives you time to learn new things.
You get to explore. You get to learn new things, like you said.
Exactly. So for fun games, we have a lot of things to try. For fun games, to prepare those things, those little bits of the indoor games you can try. It's also part of your packing kits, where you can put together. Like we're trying. I've been an advocate for chess since I
certainly know you to be a sport lady, and chess is one of the favorites I've seen.
I like it because it helps with critical thinking. It will also help the children understand basic things. So you could also have that packed. Have the children, or you as an adult, have it to guide your mind. At some point when you don't want to do the screen time, you could play chess.
Certainly.
Do the book.
Certainly. One thing again is some people like to travel alone. If you're traveling alone, make sure people around you, or somebody at least, knows your whereabouts.
Exactly.
You don't say, I want to shut off the world and go by myself. That's not really a good one.
That's not really a good one.
Inform some people about your movements.
Exactly. So look at all of those things as part of your relaxation at home, for going out of the shores of your environment. So look at all of those security tips and be careful for how you go. Then if you can't travel far, that's not even a problem. That's like Mutara said, staycation. If you don't have the resources to do all that, plan a staycation and just stay. You can tune into your home, turn into a 5-star relaxation zone. And then you create a home spa with candles, essential oils.
Too expensive,
so you know, I'm trying to give tips because Mutara, if you're saying
food, I will not inculcate all these tips.
So those are ways to try new things. So you can have your you have that oil, put in the candle, create your own spa atmosphere. You know, if you have your partner as well, both of you can, you know, do the pedicure and, you know, take care of yourself. Have a long soak in the tub. Are you thinking about that?
Images in my head.
So we also have, you could turn off all notifications and start a midday routine. Just you day plan what you need to do and help yourself. Okay, like we said, also build a reading corner with cozy lights and your favorite books.
Certainly. It's not all about
So you don't need to
machines.
spend too much. You don't need to spend too much. You need to just quickly just walk around those things to look how you need to do. So you, like we said earlier, yoga is also something you can try in your house.
It's not expensive.
It's not expensive.
It is easy to do, and the benefits are so much rewarding.
Exactly. So that's to tell you that there's health benefits, there's wellness to all of those things. Don't forget to eat healthy as well. No matter what you're eating,
Important.
eat healthy. Try your exercises. Try your yoga time. You know, even if you're going to be indoors, or even if
Especially
you're
for people
traveling.
that are indoors. You see, some of us who like the indoor space tend to go on junk food.
Don't do
And it's not
junks.
really good. You are binging on movies and junking.
No, don't
It's
do
not really
junks.
nice.
Don't
So
do
eating healthy
junks.
cannot be overemphasized, especially if you're an indoor person like myself.
Okay, so we're telling you that summertime is time for you to reset, unwind, clear your head, re-strategize, and
You didn't
get.
talk about people who attend weddings.
Oh,
This
that's
summer.
true. It's summer. I know a lot of people had planned weddings for the cousin, for the brother, the sister. You know, all of those things are parts. Don't forget, we said eat healthy. Don't do the moya and
want to
make
go
sure
to-
you have an IV for the wedding you're going to attend. For those who are going to be invited, that's what we're referring to.
And about eating healthy, we have to remind them, eat before you go to people's wedding.
Okay.
So that when food pass you by, you don't say these people hate
I
me.
totally agree with that.
That's all.
So eat before you go out to make sure that you have a great time. And I tell people, if you love to dance, enjoy the dance floor as well, as part of what you're going to be enjoying during your holidays or your vacation or that exciting wedding you've been planning.
Yes.
You know, have a great time. This is a season to relax. It's the summer season, so we're just giving you tips. If you're traveling, if you're staying at home, if you're attending that wedding, if you're going for that exciting anniversary ceremony or family time,
Whatever it is
you're
have
going to
planned.
do, you've
Yes.
planned for yourself. But find good time to relax and create the atmosphere where it is worth the while, and you tell yourself, I really had a worth time spending with family
Because
or with
life is
friends.
for the living, like they say. You have to live this life.
Life is for the living, oh. All right, Mukhtar, it's been an exciting one here on Global Morning, talking with you and having this great conversation with you always.
Of course, with you, there's no dull moment. The action keeps on going on and on. And it's been an amazing hour for me.
Yeah, it's been a delight. We hope you had an amazing time with us here on Global Morning. We'll come your way same time next weekend, hopefully. We'll always bring you the exciting things you want to see. And we tell you, find time to relax. Don't just keep the hustling going. Hustle and also relax your mind. Tell yourself life is for the living. Work and also enjoy the essence of working.
Like in the Beijing Parlance, problem no they finish. Make you try to enjoy it. That's my final words to all our viewers at this particular point in time.
All right, I am Aniete Patrick. Do enjoy your Saturday. And Mukhtar,
Bye-bye. Till next time.
have a lovely weekend.